Yorana e Maeva, which is hello and welcome in Tahitian, Ultimate Jet Vacations family. My name is Catherine Blizzard, and I'll be representing the Brando Tetiaroa private island for today's webinar. Thank you so much for carving out a little bit of time to have a better understanding of this incredible destination, as well as our very, very unique resort there on Tetiaroa. So I do like to start off with just a basic overview about our owning company, which is Pacific Beachcomber. Pacific Beachcomber is a hospitality organization based in French Polynesia, and we do oversee a portfolio of 7 hotels and resorts, of which the Brando essentially is the creme de la creme, or kind of the cherry on top for all of those resorts. So I do also like to speak a little bit about our chairman, Mr. Richard Bailey, because he's such an incredible visionary. He, much like Marlon Brando, came to French Polynesia, fell in love with a local Tahitian woman as well as the destination, and decided to set up shop in French Polynesia. So in 1998, he purchased Pacific Beachcomber, which at the time was an already established hospitality organization. And that's really what set us on this path for Mr. Bailey to meet Marlon Brando and have a relationship in which culminated with the establishment of the Brando Resort in 2014. So the Brando is located on Tetiaroa, the lone atoll of the Society Islands. Tetiaroa is roughly 30 miles north of Tahiti, so it's a quick 20-minute flight from Papeete in Tahiti, and it is made up of 12 separate motus, or small islets, as you can see there. One of the tenets of Pacific Beachcomber that does kind of cascade throughout the entire organization is to truly love a place is to want to protect it, and perhaps that's the same common thread that Mr. Brando felt, which is why Mr. Bailey and Mr. Brando ended up having a successful partnership in establishing the Brando on Tetiaroa. So here you can see that we do have our own private air terminal for Air Tetiaroa, which goes between Papeete, which is the only international airport in French Polynesia, and to Tetiaroa. So when people often think about French Polynesia, I'm sure that they think, because I know I did before I started selling the destination, oh my gosh, it seems so exotic and so far away, when actually it's only about an 8-hour flight from both San Francisco and Los Angeles. So I'm happy to report, if you don't already know, there will be a new lift route beginning in October, and that will be between Seattle and Tahiti. So we are looking forward to that. The carriers that are coming into French Polynesia from the United States are French Bee and United, based out of San Francisco. And in LA, it's Air France and Air Tahiti Nui. The new route from Seattle to Tahiti is in partnership with Air Tahiti Nui and Alaska Airlines. So that gives you a quick overview. And we're going to move right along to talk a little bit more about Onatahi and the Atoll of Tetiaroa. So I've already mentioned about the flight time. Also, it is an incredibly private type of experience that your clients have when they do come to Tetiaroa, because we only have 36 accommodations in total. We've got 35 private villas and 1 residence, and we make it very, very easy for both you and the advisor community, because we only have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom accommodations. That residence that we have is actually about a 3 master bedroom villa that does also have a bedroom for support staff. We certainly could accommodate 2 small children in that room as well. So it's a fantastic destination for couples, naturally, because that's what French Polynesia is known for. But I also think it's really great for multi-gen families. If you've got groups of friends that are traveling with one another, we're also a good fit for them. Additionally, we are a LEED Platinum certified resort, which is an incredibly difficult accreditation to come across. And if you're interested in that, certainly do reach out to me directly, and I'll be happy to expand. But next, I'm just going to show a couple of pictures here offering what the approach looks like and what your clients can expect. So you can see then that the water is incredibly azure blue, and there's so many different gradients of COVID as well. We're happy to also report that starting today, as a matter of fact, through October the 25th of this year, we have launched our brand new and inaugural direct flight from Bora Bora straight to Tetiaroa. So kindly do reach out to your team if you need more information for that. It is a once weekly flight, but ultimately it saves anywhere from 4.5 hours to a full day's worth of transit time through Tahiti if your clients are already in Bora Bora, which is kind of a natural progression. If your clients are already staying in Bora Bora, because people do like to island hop and they want to go to Tetiaroa, that direct flight really does eliminate a lot of the transit time. So moving on here, what's notable is that about this picture is that the resort was purposefully designed to have the community spaces all located really centrally, or kind of in the heart of the resort there. So pictured here, you'll see Bob's Bar, the main pool. You'll also see the concierge lounge where there's library, pool table, bar, and so forth. So there are two different sides to the resort, which you can see here. So we're actually looking in from where, pretend like you're standing in the water where those two kayakers are. That's Mermaid Bay. And then the other side just across is Turtle Beach. And then you can see obviously the open ocean with the reef. So I'm just going to sit on this again, and the reason why is because I like to talk a little bit about the setup for the resort. So if you can see my pointer here, this side right here is Turtle Beach, and you're going to find that there's a lot more coral on this side. Sunsets are incredible, and then this side over here is Mermaid Bay. So you can also see from this picture that it looks really clear right here, and that's because we don't have as many coral gardens on that side. So typically we do say that Mermaid Bay is probably a better side if you've got children, clients with smaller children, or if you've got people who aren't particularly strong swimmers or just aren't interested in the coral at all. Oops. All right, moving right along here. Additionally, I just want to talk a little bit about Bob's Bar. We are the only, the Brando is the only luxury all-inclusive in French Polynesia. And then what that means, and sometimes people don't really understand what that means, but if you're walking past Bob's Bar and you want a drink, you're going to get a very strong dirty old Bob, which is what we're famous for, or a Mai Tai, but you're not going to have to sign for any checks. And I know that sounds like something really, really small, but it makes you feel while you're in the destination like it truly is your own private oasis. And it just lends itself to offering a type of ambiance which really you don't experience at any other resort in the destination. So this is a great bar here called Manu Bar. It is a little bit more elevated, so you have a better view of the lagoon. Here are a couple of activities that you can do at the bar, drinking naturally, but we also do have a billiards table, and there are reading areas, lots of lounging areas to sit around and read or play games, that kind of a thing. So we do have 3 dining options for your clients. Again, we are the only all-inclusive in French Polynesia. So this is just showcasing Beachcomber Cafe. Beachcomber Cafe is more all-day kind of casual dining. We do have indoor and outdoor seating, as you can see there. This is, again, kind of a casual type environment here. Moving on, beautiful sunset there, right? And moving on to our fine dining establishment, it's called Les Mutines. And you can see that it actually, in remembrance of Marlon Brando's time in French Polynesia and what brought him to French Polynesia, which was the movie Mutiny on the Bounty, you can actually see that Les Mutines is shaped like an upside down boat. So this is fine dining. One thing to also note is that we do offer vegetarian and vegan menus. I mean, obviously, if you're talking about sustainability, you need to discuss options that are perhaps a little bit more sustainable. That doesn't mean that we don't have fantastic food for omnivores, so just keep that in mind. But if you do have clients that have some dietary preferences, we are able to meet those. Fantastic wine offerings here. One of the key differentiators that I like to bring to the attention of your, teams like you or advisors directly is that we are just so incredibly committed to regenerative tourism and sustainability. So not only do we have our own organic garden where our culinary team is pulling, local herbs or things that we've cultivated in the garden, whether it be different types of vegetables or fruits. Obviously, they're incorporating those into their culinary creations, but we also have bees there on property, and those bees essentially are they're generating about, I think like a ton of honey per year, which is pretty incredible. The other thing, and I don't have a whole lot of pictures to showcase this because I didn't want to bore you too much because I'm a sustainability geek, but not everybody else is that we also are recycling everything. So if you're a gardener, you probably know that if you're composting, it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months to turn that compost over. We're actually doing it in 24 hours. We are running off of solar power as well as coconut oil. We are one of only 2 properties worldwide that utilizes seawater air conditioning. That's proprietary technology that kind of was the mastermind of Mr. Marlon Brando. And essentially what that means is we have a big pipe that roughly goes about 3,000 feet into the ocean, pulls up freezing cold water that goes through kind of an exchange process, and all of that cold air that we harness is pushed out to all of the private villas. So it's freezing cold. And also the thing that makes you feel not so guilty is if you forget to close your door for your villa and you've gone out to the deck to do a little swimming in your private plunge pool, actually the air conditioning automatically turns off. And when you close the doors, it turns back on again, so you don't really feel guilty. So this is a great shot right here of the backside of one of the private villas. This is a 1-bedroom villa. So essentially every single villa has your private dining terrace, as you can see right there, and here comes a better picture. You've got a private plunge pool, as you saw in that last picture, essentially your own private beach. And then we start heading into the interior. You can also see that, the color palette is very subdued. It's very aesthetically in line with what you're going to see in French Polynesia, very authentic in terms of the design aesthetic. There is a TV that comes out just right here, although hopefully most people are not watching TV, but it's incredible because the way logistically the entire resort was formed is that you really don't see another villa next to you from your villa, which has allowed us, that's an incredible bathroom right there, but if you've never bathed outdoors, it's incredibly liberating, and we are able to accomplish this again because of the way the resort was designed in terms of maximizing privacy, right? So the other thing that's really unique about our resort is that we have our own eco station on property, and because of that eco station, we do partner with world-class educators across the globe, particularly, for example, in Berkeley or University of Washington, and one of those educators has been working on eradicating transmissible diseases via mosquitoes. So we essentially don't have any biting mosquitoes in Tetiaroa at all, which again is one of the reasons why being able to bathe outside is so fantastic, because you're also not going to get eaten alive by mosquitoes. And the other reason why that's great is because nowadays we have so many clients who are targeting different destinations for baby moons, right? And if you're going to a tropical destination like French Polynesia, you're probably worried, or your client's worried, or chikungunya or dengue fever, those kinds of things. And like I said, on Tetiaroa, we don't have any biting mosquitoes, so that really shouldn't be of a concern for your clients. So this is that Terra Moana residence that I was talking about, which essentially is a 3 master bedroom villa that does also have an accommodation that is suitable for support staff, for example, or even 2 small children. So this sits on 1.25 acres by itself, so it's incredibly private. And you can see that you've got all of that lush foliage surrounding it, and you can't even see this villa from the path that surrounds the resort. So again, it's just an incredible opportunity for multi-gen families, particularly, to be able to rent this out and enjoy some time with their family. So this is the living area and some details that we've got there, followed by the dining area, working kitchen. Here's that smaller bedroom, the support staff room, as well as it does have laundry room and pantry room as well. Beautiful outdoor deck. It's very expansive, and this is actually on the Mermaid Bay side, so the water is a little bit calmer, and you do have just some credible vista viewpoints. So typically for the resort, we do have a mandatory 2-night minimum, depending on what season it is. However, for this Villa Terra Moana, it is, the Terra Moana residence, it actually is a 4-night minimum. And in festive, it's actually a 7-night minimum. So I like to call this the master suite because it does have this study that sets it apart a little bit from the other accommodations within this villa. Here's just a few additional shots. Wrapping up here, guys. I know you've got busy schedules, but again, there you can see a couple of pictures. And I also like to talk a little bit about our Varua Te Ora Polynesian Spa. So this is located more on the inward or inland part of the island toward the heart of the atoll, and it captures the Varua, or the soul of the atoll. So we lovingly refer to this as the Whare Manu, or bird's nest, as you can see from the depiction there in the picture. It is a unique spa villa, and it's elevated kind of into the heights of the coconut palms, and it just offers this really unique dichotomy and ambiance once you have exited the bird's nest and you're kind of just enjoying after having a beautiful massage. You're sitting there in one of those lounge chairs, maybe drinking some green tea, and the swaying of the palm trees, because you're kind of elevated, so you hear the palm fronds swishing right by your head. The breeze is blowing, and again, it's just so different than what you experience while you're out at the beach with your toes in the sand, because you just hear the crashing of the ocean on the open reef. And so again, the difference in the ambiance just on this one particular atoll is really very unique. We do have a new offering that we've created as well, and based on that same kind of technology of SWAC, where we are, we've got that big pipe that goes 3,000 feet into the ocean. We are also harnessing that water for this ice-cold seawater bath, and it is something that is complimentary. So if your clients are interested and you can see some of the benefits there, your client simply just needs to arrange a quick visit with either the spa concierge or the concierge for the main resort. So a couple of pictures here, just because naturally we are filled with all types of biodiversity on Tetiaroa. And again, what I was talking about in terms of just being a really unique type of offering is that we have our own eco station. And with that eco station, we have cultivated a partnership with Tetiaroa Society. And this actually was part of Marlon Brando's vision. So Tetiaroa Society, you can see here, they've got their organization based on in the atoll of Tetiaroa. And their naturalist guides are the guides who actually take our clients or our guests out from the Brando for the different excursions that are included in their all-inclusive package. Like I mentioned, because we are the only all-inclusive in French Polynesia, we do actually include 2 activities per day in accordance with the number of bedrooms for a villa. So for example, if your client is booking a 1-bedroom villa, they will receive 2 activities per day. And these guides will be the ones taking your clients around and educating them about, whether it's the blue coconut crab or if it's the red-footed booby that are based throughout the different motus of the atoll. This is, if any of you have been or if you've seen some of our Instagram postings, you will recognize this as Billionaire's Bath. It's also called Queen's Bath. It is an incredibly stunning location, and the water is really, really shallow here too. But one thing it's important to note is that Tetiaroa was once upon a time historically known as being the vacation spot of royal Tahitians. So that's how this area here gets its name, as being Queen's Bath. And obviously with the destination being what it is, and this resort being so incredibly private, Billionaire's Bath came to be as well. So here's another photo of what we like to call the Tunnel of Light. We installed this in Q4 of 2021, and it really has become something that people look forward to at dusk to walk through. Obviously a great area for getting a snapshot of to put on Instagram or what have you. So Excellent. So everyone, there's my contact information. And one last thing I'd like to leave with you, being that we are the only luxury all-inclusive in French Polynesia, what that entails when your clients are booking that all-inclusive package is they will be receiving all of their meals and beverages. Obviously, premium items are additional. But they also will be receiving one 50-minute spa treatment per day in accordance with the number of bedrooms of their villa. So again, if they've got a 1-bedroom villa, they'll be receiving one 50-minute spa treatment per day. If they've got a 2-bedroom villa, they'll be receiving two 50-minute spa, 50-minute spa treatments per day. So if your client is in a 1-bedroom villa and they want to do a couples massage one day, they simply need to skip one day, and then the following day they can double up. But again, it is such an incredible value when it comes to the destination. There really aren't any other competitor hotels who are offering an all-inclusive package that includes the meals, beverages, spa treatments, as well as those activities that I outlined earlier. So if there's ever anything that we can offer in terms of support to help you best understand how to position us against any of the competitors, kindly do reach out to me. Naturally, you guys have a fantastic sales team and some great resources as well, but I'll always make myself available should you need me. So thank you very much and good luck.